Welcome to Lamb Talk YouTube channel. I am your host, Deslin Dawkins, and I hope you guys have a blessed and wonderful evening. This is our first upload of the channel. Just introducing myself. My name is Deslin Dawkins. I'm 25 years old. I'm an entrepreneur. Also do music, and I'm just all around fun guy, right? Anyways, thank you for being here again. This channel is called Lamb Talk. Lamb Talk meaning Lamborghini expensive conversations, right? So just to get to the point, the first video of the channel, if by the end of this video, if you like it, you like the message, you like the conversation that we're gonna have, again, you guys can comment in the comment section, anything that you feel like I could do better or whatever the case may be. Again, I promise it will get better, right? This is just the first. It's just a start, right? So the 3 biggest mistakes that keep you broke. Number 1, mismanagement of time. Okay, when we mismanage our time, right, we waste it. Especially people in your 20s, right? I'm not talking about teenagers, because sometimes they don't have. So if you're not over 18, you don't have the means, right? But some kids do find the means. But I'm talking about young adults, right? Young adults, we waste our time, right? We waste time. We don't. Wasting time meaning we do things that is counterproductive to or self growth, right? Whether that's mentally, spiritually, or physically, counterproductive, right? Whether we're eating out a lot, right? We're drinking, smoking, whatever the case may be, it's just too much and excessive, right? So as far as mentally as physically, even spiritually too, that does affect it. We're counterproductive, right? Man, we got to get our time together. I used my time wisely. When I found out the secret of making 6 figures, right? Just a secret, right? I realized that time was the biggest deal, right? I realized that wasting time was a very, very, very big deal to me, because I used to do all those things, right? I'm not perfect. I'm only human, right? So, I used to smoke, used to drink a lot, smoke a lot more than drink, but, and waste time with the wrong people, right? Not saying I'm not saying you're not supposed to have friends, but I'm just letting you know what the case is, right? So if we waste time, listen, go to the gym, go to the gym, get your body right. Go to the gym, do some cardio. If you always had that long dream, right, of being fit, okay, of gaining some muscle, right, and slimming down and getting off the junk food, eat healthy, right? Because that will change your body. And when you change your body, you change your mind, right? So go to the gym, right? Start getting some cardio in, start getting some physical exercise in, as much as you can, right? You got to change. Listen, you got to think about it. Being wealthy, right, is again, it's connected to your spiritual side of you. Also connected to your mental side is how you think about wealth, think about money, right? The economy, right? And your body. Okay, so how you treat your body is how you're gonna treat money. Okay, so if you abuse your body, you're gonna abuse things. You're gonna abuse money, because you don't have the discipline to basically, I wouldn't say save, but yeah, save, reinvest, take the discipline to learn, right? To use your time wisely, right? Discipline is another one too, but I'll get to that. Use your time to be around the right people, to brainstorm, right? Brainstorm how you're going to start your next business, right? How you going to start the business that you've been wanting to start, okay? You can do it, right? So you got to use your time wisely, man. You got to research, okay? You got to read books, okay? Self-help books, financial books, okay? I'll tell you a little bit about, my journey. So I was an avid 9-to-5er. Avid. That's what I call myself. Avid, right? Avid and average, right? Meaning, I wanted money. So the only way I knew how to get money, because the only way my parents taught me how to get money, was to work, right? Go out, clock in, clock out. I was working at a job I'm a jack of all trades. I was a nursing assistant, a mechanic. I was a rapper. I was everything under the sun, right? I could do it, right? So you name it, I'll do it. Cut your grass, fix your car, need an oil change, whatever the case. I used to hustle. I just used to hustle to try to get some money, right? But I didn't understand how money works, right? So basically I was wasting my time, right? And I did not know how important time was. Do you hear when they say time is money? That's true, right? Time is money, and time is also way more valuable than money. Okay, this thought just popped up in my head, but I was telling my friend the other day that we only have three currency, right? We have time, we have money, and we have knowledge. We can use either one, right? We can use either of the two to gain one. So, for example, if you want more time, you have to have the money and you have to have the knowledge, right? Right? If you want more money, right, you have to have the time and you have to have the knowledge. Okay? And if you want more knowledge, you got to have the money and you got to have the time. Okay? So it goes hand in hand, but that's our currency. That's the only currency we hold as, human beings. Like, so time is very, very important. That's why rich people, if they want more time, they have a lot of money and they have the know-how to hire you, right? They have the know-how to start a business. They have the know-how to start a corporation, to build an empire so they can have you guys as employees, right? So they have the know-how and they have the money. So guess what? They're free. They're bought their time back, right? Spending time with your family, you can never like, if you're supposed to spend time with your family versus being at work, miss graduations, you miss your kids, soccer games and stuff like that, whatever the case may be. I don't have kids yet, but that those moments you cannot get back. We have to use our time wisely. If you want to cross that or begin your journey to, you don't have to be an entrepreneur. You can have a high paying skill, right? You can have a high paying skill. Everyone is not built to be a business owner or start their own business or, do a startup, right? I believe there are phenomenal managers, right? Phenomenal organizers. Like, those are the people that are meant to be, high paid managers, right? There are people with skills also that they have enough skills, they can teach it, right? They can teach. They have a certain skill, right? A plumber can teach an apprentice, electrician, vice versa, right? So, they have skills where you can teach and pass on, teach other people to do it and go out and do what you need to do. Again, it's just a business model. But as I'm saying, right, some people are phenomenal at managing things. Aaron Golden says, right, I'm sorry if I butcher your last name, I'm sorry. He's an inspiration to me. He said, if you're going to use your time, right, make sure it's worth it. Make sure it's worth the amount of money that you use. As the example he gave, he said he does coaching calls for $40,000 an hour. He doesn't like to do them, and I'm like, But if he has to do them, he's gonna get paid really, really well. It's a win-win situation. So if you're gonna use your time to make money, right, make sure it's worth it. Okay, that is all I'm saying right there. Right, I digress. So, as I said, like, time is the biggest deal. We have to manage our time, man. Like, you have to stop going out, stop drinking. Like, you have to have these in place, right? The time that you're going to spend on the TV, right? Stop. Cut it out. Cut it out. It's not worth it. Anyways, I'm just joking. But, yeah, I'm serious. As I'm saying, cut it out. Like, cut it back a little bit. You're not gonna do everything. You're not gonna go tomorrow and say, "Oh, that doesn't say this, so let me just," it's not gonna happen, right? Just cut it back a little bit. Be more conscious of how you're spending your time, right? Be more conscious. So if you're more conscious of it, it's like, okay, instead of watching this Netflix series for 4 or 5 hours, let me only watch it for 2.5, and then the next 2.5, let me go read a book, since that's the free time I have, right? So be more conscious of it and conserve, right? And be more productive, right? Because if you're more productive, then the quality of life that you live, right, because of the way you think, because of the way that you've used your time to heighten your mind, right, and your body, right, and your spirituality, right, your quality of life is gonna change. Trust me on that. Okay, so that being said, your time. We have to manage our time. You got to read some books, man. You got to read some books. Trust me, it starts by reading. I tell all my friends, some of my friends are 9 to 5ers. I'm the dude that I'll just give you advice out of nowhere. This is me, right? This is me. Hey, what do you do? Hey, I work at this, whatever restaurant, or I'm doing this 9 to 5, or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, well, do you have any plans for doing your own thing or whatever? Whether that's creativity, starting your own business, or whatever the case may be. And sometimes they'll say no, and I'm like, why, right? And they'll let me know what's going on, and I'll be like, hey, if for example, they're like, oh, hey, I want to start my own business. I have dreams of starting my own business, or dreams of doing something creative, or dreams of doing this or whatever. I'm like, hey, go ahead and do it. I'm the dude that's gonna give you the advice to go ahead and do it. And I even sometimes, if I know the field you're going into, I'll teach you, right? I'll try to teach you. But the first thing I always do is recommend a book. I've read enough books to know how money works. That's why I'm an entrepreneur. I'm actually a 6-figure entrepreneur. So I have a rental company, I have a auto detailing company, and I do ecom, right? Robert Kiyosaki, right? Rich Dad Poor Dad. That's the first book I've ever read, right? Even audiobooks, like listen to, right? The first book. When I was doing my 9 to 5s, man, and just going through my motions, not really knowing what my purpose was in life, the first thing, the motivational speakers like Jim Rohn on YouTube used to recommend, like, go read a book. Go read a book. Most of these millionaires and billionaires, like when they come on social media and they say, hey man, they do a little podcast or whatever. Oh, what's your advice on this? Go read. You gotta read. You're not gonna escape it, right? Knowledge is in the words. Knowledge is embedded in words, and the man or woman that fails to read will not gain it. Trust me, because you can listen all day, but sometimes you gotta physically take up a book and actually go read. Trust me, it will change your life. I thought different at one point, but it changed mine. Okay, so Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. You can read 10X by Grant Cardone. You can read Boss Moves or Trash Man to Cash Man by Myron Goldman. Right? There's a lot of financial books that you can read, and if you need any books, any recommended books, I can, you can drop a comment below, right? Drop a comment below, and I'll reply to your comment and recommend you to some books, right? Okay, but I'll start with financial, right? Financial books on finance, how money works, right? And self-help, right? How to break certain habits, right? All that stuff. So I will start with that, self-help books and financial books only at first. And then you can go into psychology and stuff like that. Even sales and all that stuff. Like, that's really good, right? That's where I'm headed to. Like, excuse me, reading more sales and stuff like that. And, how to network and all that stuff. I'm still learning. I'm on a journey. You guys are with me. So the more I know, the more you know, right? Okay, so we got to use our time wisely, right? The next thing that keeps us from being rich, right, is discipline. Rich people have a lot of discipline. And when I'm talking about discipline, I'm talking about laser focused discipline, right? You have to understand, like, a kid like me, a lot of my peers, right, they don't approve how I live my life. I was married at a young age, and I was thinking more long term, right, stability. So it happened. I'm married at a young age. I love my wife. She's awesome. Okay. So, married at a young age, started, my business at a young age. I'm the last of my siblings, right? So my mom is older, right? Okay. So older is in, like, in her 60s or whatever. So I'm sorry, Mom. I don't mean to put your age out there. Don't kill me. But but she's older, so I'm more driven to take care of her. I'm more driven to secure her future, right? Because it's not like she had me at 30 or 29 or whatever, right? So I had time to say after that, oh, okay, she's still young and she's still healthy or whatever the case may be. Okay, cool. Right. No, that's not the case. She's getting older. She's getting to that retirement age. So I vowed to, be that guy in my family that will take care of my, family when they need me. Like my family can call on me, my nieces, my nephew, all that stuff. So financially, yes, they will be able to call on me. I want to be a pillar to my family, both in knowledge, money, and spirituality. Okay, they can come to me for anything. Okay, so I vowed to do that. So my time clock is really ticking because I want, by the time she reaches a certain age, I want to make sure I can retire her and be there for her. Right. That being said, I'm working overtime, right, to get to seven figures. I'm working overtime to get to multi seven figures, right, because I want to make sure that I've secured my mom's seat. I've secured my family's seat in the next generation, in the recession to come, whatever the case may be. So because I can't talk to everybody, right, that I meet, I would love to, right, but I can't. I'm here, right? I'm making YouTube videos. So if you want to find me, you can go to Lamb Talk on YouTube. Look this kid up called Deslin, and watch him talk. Right, listen to him. You might be motivated, you might not be. You might be more advanced than me, but hey, if you're not, and you find inspiration in these videos, trust me. If I can change one life, I'll be happy. Right? Okay, so discipline. You have to be disciplined. The most important lesson or even trial that I've learned about discipline is going to the gym. Like that have taught me, like, it taught me discipline because I've always wanted to gain weight. I always wanted to gain good weight. You know what I mean, like muscle. So I always have been 135, 140. The last couple years I've been in the gym consistently. At first it was a little shaky. So it was, 1 week I'll go, 1 week I won't go, whatever the case may be, right? And I didn't have very, good habits, right? So, smoking, drinking, whatever the case may be. So now I've caught myself, right? In the last year and a half, I've been at it, like really, really at it. So, 6 days a week, 4 or 5, 6 days a week. I don't always go 6, right? Rest is very important too. And your meal prep and planning is very important. So, 4 or 5, 6 days a week, 6 if I can, 4 definitely, and 5 most likely, right? So that have changed, right? That I have seen more growth in being more consistent and being disciplined, going there on the time that I tell myself that I will go there, right? Than not. Okay, so that just being said, like I can attest to that. Like the gym has taught me discipline, right? So I have to be disciplined. I transfer the same lessons I've learned for the gym into my business, my everyday life, right? I need to be disciplined enough to make that call, make that phone call, follow up with that customer, whatever the case may be, right? Go get anyone that has a lot of money, millionaires, multimillionaires, even people that make thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like they're gonna tell you, like, discipline was the first thing. They have to be disciplined to go read that book. They have to be disciplined to go start that LLC. They have to be disciplined to continue doing it even when it's not working, right? You have to have discipline, right? You have to have discipline to cut through the, hey, you're not coming to come party with me, hey, let's go out tonight, let's go, oh, you do too much, oh, you always working, whatever. I heard that. Listen, I locked in for 6 months to a year. I locked in for 6 months to a year. I was working 16 hours, right? I was doing management. I was a supervisor in a retail store, right? I was supervising a retail store at Harbor Freight. I was a CNA at night, right? So I was a nursing assistant and I was a supervisor. 8 hours in a day, 8 hours at night. And I was disciplined enough to do a real estate class, fix my credit, read books, catch up on reading, right? I was disciplined enough to do it. 1, 2 o'clock at night, right? 1, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, because I did overnight shift from 11 to 7 when I got off from work from, I think it was 12 or 1 to 10, right? And so, like, that was my schedule, back to back. I hated it. But I started a business previously before and it wasn't picking up the way I thought, so it kind of failed a little bit. It wasn't picking up the way I thought, so I had to go back into the workforce, right? So the discipline to keep going or even taking the next step, right? Or even taking another step, just like that again, is crazy. Like, you have to understand, like, I had to cut through. I had to be like, you know what? After the first one, the first business didn't work out. Not saying it didn't work out, it was just slow, so it wasn't making enough money. So yes, it didn't work out at the time, right? So I still was doing it, right? But I took a pause a little bit, and I focused more on just, my mental growth, right? My credit, right? So I can get funding, and just my knowledge, right? And my body, and doing what I need to do. So I took a 6 month, like, what you call it, accelerated, life lesson, like, of discipline, right? Working, studying, working, studying. Listening to motivational videos, listening to Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn was mostly the one that I listened to. Robert Kiyosaki, read all his books. Excuse me, I read Grant Cardone. I read let me see what else. I think I only read two books within that time, right, at night, because I only could read like only so much, and then do my real estate class, and then do whatever the case may be, right? So yeah, I'm telling you, like, 6 months I locked in, and at the end of those 6 months, right, I started my business. I started my rental business, right? Because I got a feel of what I wanted to do, right? So I started my rental business. I took a risk, started a rental business. I didn't care what really I was doing. I just knew cars because I was a mechanic also. So yeah, I know, right? So I'm a mechanic also because I went to school for that, and I worked at, Toyota, Ford, all that stuff, right? So I was a mechanic, and I was in that realm. So I was like, okay, I could start a rental business, a car rental, cash car rental business, because it'll be in my realm of things that I know, right? So I was like, I'm not passionate about it, but I'll do it. It'll make money, give me my start, give me my step up to entrepreneurship or solopreneurship or whatever the case may be. I'll do it, right? So I did. I definitely took the leap. I took the step. I was disciplined enough to start it, stick with it, right? And literally, I started in May 2023. August of 2023, I quit my job. I was making over $6,000 a month. It was enough to, pay my bills and everything. Thank you, God, right? So, and I quit my job. So I'm telling you, if you lock in, right? And I tell all my friends, everybody that I meet, I'm like, yo, you just gotta lock in. You gotta be disciplined enough to lock in for a few months, even a year, and your life will change forever. And I never gone back. I've been happier, right? So that just teach me resilience. Like, if anything happens, a lot of things happen in my businesses then, and I overcame it, right? So, again, through the help of God, right? Because I'm a very spiritual person. I believe that Yahweh has a purpose for me, right? So Jesus has a purpose for everyone, even you. Okay, so even if you don't believe, trust me, he does, right? So as I said before, you have to be disciplined enough just to lock in. Trust me, if you lock in, he got you. Okay? You have to be locked in for a few. Locked in for a few long enough to allow yourself to grow. That's why I said 6 months to a year, because you have to allow yourself to grow. You have to allow your mind to expand. You have to allow the work to work. As Myron Golden said, all work works, negative or positive. But if you're doing the good things, right? Like reading, going to the gym, meditating, right? Praying at night, like, if all work works, trust me, right? You have to give yourself time to. You're not gonna do it for 1 month and be, successful the next month. No, you have to give yourself time, to develop, right, and grow enough to where you can take your diapers off and say, okay, I'm gonna take some risk, and it's gonna be calculated risk, okay? And it's gonna be good, baby. You feel me? Amen. So, and as I said before, yeah, right. So discipline, right? Another thing too is faith. You gotta have faith. Faith, believe. You gotta have faith in yourself, faith in God, and to believe in yourself that you can do whatever you put your mind to. Again, the three biggest mistakes that keep you poor, man. Like, your time, your discipline, and a lack of faith. You mismanage your time. You're not disciplined. And your lack of faith in yourself. You don't believe that what you have is special, right? If you're creative and you can draw, or you can sing, or you can do whatever. Like, if you're a good manager, you're good. You don't believe in yourself enough to go start your own business. You don't believe in yourself enough to go buy a starter pack studio and go start that podcast. You don't believe in yourself. You have to believe, man. Because if you believe, right? If you believe, trust me, you will get help. God will help you. Okay? If you believe, if you have faith in whatever you're doing and in yourself, God will help you. Listen, I failed. I restarted. Right? And it took a lot of faith. I prayed the day I started my company, right? My second company. I told God, I was like, hey, if this is for me, show me the way. And 3 months later, I was making so much in revenue, right? And profit also. It's like that's my way. That's my sign right there. I quit my job. Went to Jamaica with my wife, took a vacation. I came back fresh. Right? Came back re-energized. I'm like, let's go. Right? Shot past 6 figures. Been doing, well. Amen. Right? Thank you, God. So, as I said, read in the morning. Have your little morning routine. Don't just, get up and, say, oh, all right, roll out of bed or whatever. Even if you're working, right? Even if you have to go to work, get up earlier than you should. Even though that's hard. But if you go to sleep the day before, right? Rest early, right? You will be up rested. Get up, meditate, pray, right? Whatever you do, right? Manifest. Manifest what you want, right? Create the environment you want in your head so you can create that emotion, so that emotion can lead to some action, right? Okay, trust me, I'm telling you, this stuff works. Okay, so, and as you know, you can do anything you put your mind to, right? But if you meditate on certain things, you will definitely be able to do it more than if you just put your mind to it, right? Because you meditating on it is giving it more power. So if you say, I'm gonna start that business, I want to be, write down on a piece of paper. Trust me, I can show you a list. I can find that list. I can show you a whole list of things that I said I wanted. I wanted a 700 credit score. I wanted to do this. I wanted funding for my business. Everything before I started, right? I wrote down in 2022 or 2021 or whatever. I wrote down and I accomplished it in the span of, a year or two. So, as I said before, having faith and believing in what you can do it will get you there. I promise. Subscribe, hit the like button, drop a comment, anything. I don't care if it's just a J, right? Or if it's just a, L or whatever. If you think it was whack, I don't care. If it motivates you, if it moved you, if it inspires you to do what you want, that you always dreamed of, please, drop a comment below. If you want to know the books that I recommend to read, also you can drop a comment below, right? And then, as I said, as the channel grows, it will become better and better. The content will become better and better. In the future, I do want to have guests, come along and, people that know more than me to give you guys advice and give you guys game, right? So, again, welcome to Lamb Talk. Thank you for coming, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you, guys. Have a blessed one.